the radiator hoses slide really well. So if you want to just throw those, you pretty much can, because they'll... Hello and welcome back. It has been a bit since last episode. Haven't done anything, as you can tell. So this one we really got to get to work. So we're like instantly jumping in here. Actually, first, we have to get some of those bars down up there. Just gotta get our character clean and get the stress down, and we can go sleep. Bruh, open the door. Who be calling me? Yeah, okay. So we got fish, and hay bales, and firewood. Alright, so first we're gonna do the engine bay. So pretty much just grab everything I grab. The electronics. Threw that a little farther than I wanted. It'll be fine. Clutch. No, not the clutch, the master cylinder. Pretty much I'm just going to drop everything right in front of the car for right now, so I don't have to go back and forth. Brake, master cylinder. Brake lining. Might be able to throw this. Yes. Clutch lining. There's a nice slide going there. Fuel straighter. Radiator. the radiator hoses slide really well. So if you want to just throw those, you pretty much can, because it'll work. First, I'm going to grab my brake. Actually, hold on, one more thing. I forgot to add this with the suspension part, but the steering column. There we go. You want your 8mm spanner. There's one right there. If you go down a little bit, there's one right there. And now that you have your 8mm spanner out, we're going to keep using it because it's used for literally almost everything in the engine bay. Brake, master cylinder. Give me that one. Clutch. Alright, so first, clutch. You've got one right here. And one right there. Next up, your brake. You've got one right here. And one right here. I believe that's it. Yeah, it's just those two. Alright, and then you want your 9mm spanner. So you go right here under where the dashboard would be. Tighten these two bolts, because if you forget these, your clutch and your brakes won't work. You snap that on right there. And then we take our fuel strainer, and it's going to go right down here in this corner. Now these also use the 8mm. One bolt here. Eventually I lost it. There we go. There's the first bolt. And there's one more right here next to it. And that's it for that. Next, one bolt right here. And then we'll do the radiator. Which uses a 7. Now, I'm not going to put in the radiator hoses yet, because I kind of want my engine in before I do that. Now this uses 4 bolts. One here. One here. One up top right there. And one straight down from there. Alright, so now that we have our 7mm out, take your brake lining, lean into the car, and place it there. Same thing with your clutch lining. Alright, well, now let's get back in the engine bay. So for clutch lining first, we've got 1 bolt here. And 1 bolt right here. I'm not going to tighten this one yet because I don't have the engine in. So next up, let's move over to brake lining. You've got 1 here. Make sure these are really tight and don't miss a single one. So you got those 2. They go over here. You got 1 right here. 1 right here. 1 right here. And 1 right here. Now, let's go back to this side of the car. You've got 1 right down here. Alright, now we get out of the engine bay, and we go to each and every single wheel. So for this wheel, it's right here. For this wheel, it's right there. For this one, it's right here. And for this one, it is right here. Alright, so that is our engine bay done. Other than the radiator hoses and the battery. Because I'm not doing that right now. So, next up is we will do the interior real quick. Actually, real quick, we'll put the fuel stuff in. So, fuel tank and the fuel pipe. We'll put these at the back of the car, so we can put these in real quick. Also, we didn't tune the carburetor yet. We'll do that this episode. So first, put your fuel tank in, like that, and then get your fuel pipe, goes right here. Now, I'm going to want to bring this to the back real quick. First, need my 11 spanner. There's a lot of bolts on this, so don't miss them. There's 4 on this front, back part. I don't know, front or back. I don't know which one it is. And then there's a lot on this area, which are a lot harder to find. There we go. Yeah, just slowly follow this little line right here. You'll find all 4, I think it's only 3. It's 3 up here, and then 4 in the back area. Alright, so now you want your 12mm spanner. Go back down here. And right there at the bolt you just tighten again, and there's another bolt. That's for your fuel to go up to the front of the car. And for your fuel pipe, there is no bolts, so don't worry about that. So next up, we will start on the interior. So all the seats, all the dashboard stuff. Eventually we'll go find the RPM gauge. I know where it is, so we'll go get that. Come on, here we go. And then dashboard stuff. And steering wheel. So first, set your dashboard meters right there. Grab your radio. And your clock gauge. That does not want to go in for some reason. Or, if you have your RPM gauge, you can replace this. Not that one. Not that. That goes on your steering column. So I'll take this over here to the car. I'll turn on the light in a second. Don't worry about bolting that just yet. We will in a few seconds. Just gonna grab everything needed for the car. And we will put on our mud flaps eventually. Once I get the front fenders on, we can. The mud flaps will be part of the bodywork section, or bodywork episode. So only a few more parts. Steering wheel and our nice GT center console. I found that at the Sesuma GT Rec, which you can, there's a lot of places you can find that. Mine was at the Dance Pavilion area, or very close to it. But I've got the Sesuma LX thing, so I've got the battery volts and the oil pressure on here. So, first, need a drink of water. So, I guess let's get to building. First, we'll put our seats in. You'll want your 9mm spanner for a lot of this. Mainly the seats have that. Put our back seat in before the passenger seat. Wait, no, I had it. Finally. So, now that you got that in, take your 9mm. And there's a lot of bolts to tighten. So, tighten that one. Follow this little rail straight back here, and you'll find the next one. No, go on. Then there's this one right here. And if you follow this rail like straight back again, you'll find the next one. So then we go straight back on this rail. We'll eventually find the next one. Yep, there he is. For some reason, the driver's seat's farther forward than the passenger seat. I don't know why. I guess our character's short. And then there's another bolt right here. And we follow the rail back. There's the next one. There's one right here for the back seat. There's one on this side too. There it is. So there's our seats in. Next, we'll put our dashboard. Let's bring the spanner set into the car. First, we're going to want our 10. There's 2 bolts. One right here. And one right here. And after that, you will want your dashboard meters that we put together earlier. Somewhat. And then you'll want your 6 or 7. I'm not sure which one. I'm sure it's 7. Yes. There we go. So now that this is getting tightened, so that's our first bolt right there. We got one more right here, and then we can put this in. And you'll put that there. And yes, you can push your car forward with that. Then you want your 6. There's 2 bolts right here. Next episode, we'll probably get the engine in the car and get the car a little more built. Trying to see if we can start it next episode. Alright, so your dashboard's done. Next, I want my steering wheel. Doesn't matter what steering wheel, you can use any. You can use the GT one you can find at somewhere on the map. Flataris, you can find at Flataris, that's right. Or you can use one of the ones you order. So now we want our 10 again. And tighten that. The little handprint that appears for the horn, so you can test if your battery's hooked up right, as if your horn works. Next, we want this, which is our center console, or your gear stick, depending on which one you're using. Pretty sure this uses 7s. I always struggle to bolt this in because it's hard to see the bolts on this one compared to the other one. I wonder, can I see them from the engine bay? So it's not a 7, it's probably the 6 then. Alright, so get the 6. I'm guessing here. Yes, get the 6. 1 bolt here. one on this side. One on the other side, and that's it. There's only 3. And after that, you should have a completed interior and engine bay on your Satsuma, other than the radiator hoses and the wiring and stuff. So, next episode, we will get the engine in the car. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Hey, I'm just saying, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like and subscribe and click that bell.